An observation before I get to today's free pick on Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Yesterday, I happened to be reading the USA Today, and they had a story about Wichita State, which, of course, won its automatic Big Dance ticket thanks to its Missouri Valley Conference blowout win against Illinois State in the tournament title game on Sunday. And the gist of the story was that the Shockers could potentially be a Final Four team. Well, first of all, it must have been a very, very, very slow news cycle on Monday because the Shockers are not a Final Four team. Listen, they're a nice team. They've won 15 straight games since losing to Illinois State back in January, and they've won those 15 straight games by a margin of about 21 points a game. And they're a very good offensive team. They're a very good defensive team, top 20 in terms of both, but they're not a Final Four team. But the bigger picture is this. I think what really hurts the mid-majors and the small fry conference winners that get their Big Dance tickets punched early, the Wichita States, NC Wilmington last night, who beat College of Charleston from the Colonial College Conference, Florida Gulf Coast, is the layoff between when they wrapped up their tournament round and when they actually are going to play a game. Selection Sunday. Well, gee, it's Sunday. We know that, right? Look at Wichita State. They wrapped up their season this past Sunday, okay? They are not going to play until either next Thursday or next Friday. Now, if you're a team like Villanova, who over the final 4 weeks of the regular season was basically playing a six-man rotation because of an injury to one of their big guys, Reynolds, and is playing a brutal Big East tournament or Big East conference schedule, hey, that would be a great break. But it doesn't pay that extra rest, the extra practice time for these smaller teams. I think it always affects them when they come out in their first round game. Now, back to the bigger schools, a Villanova who, if it wants to wrap up the Big East tournament title, which it didn't claim last year, what was it? Seton Hall knocked them off in the championship game. Did it hurt them because they still won the national crown, right? And they're going to play 3 games in 3 days, or you'll inevitably have one of the major conferences. Somebody's going to win 4 games in 4 days and be a Cinderella squad. Yes, those teams can certainly use the break, and they're going to get it because they're going to get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday off. But they're going to be ready to go again. And I just always think that hurts teams from these smaller conferences. But hey, they got to play the game sometime, and they certainly aren't going to compete on a TV level, which is the key. Because listen, would you be seeing Northern Kentucky against Wisconsin, Milwaukee, the Horizon League Championship game, in a nationally televised contest tonight if any of the other bigger tournaments were being all underway tonight, unlike just the ACC play-in games today? No, I highly doubt it. Hey, also keep in mind that when the tournament brackets are announced, we, as always, will have your tournament brackets here posted by all the handicappers, myself included, starting next Monday and Tuesday. I've always believed that as a handicapper, as a gambler, I always have an inherent advantage over anybody else out there when it comes to putting together brackets and picking teams because, again, there's 347 Division I teams. I guarantee you guys, I probably dealt with 250 of them over the course of the season. So when you're talking about those upsets where the mid-majors are ultimately going to pull out a couple of upsets along the way, those 11 and 12 seeds, these are teams that I'm familiar with, as are the other handicappers at the site, because these are the teams that we have been following every single day since November. So again, I always think that gives us an inherent advantage, but ultimately it still comes down to luck when you're picking your brackets anyway, as you all know. Okay, let's talk about this game tonight between Gonzaga and St. Mary's. And let's note my perspective. I had another $15 best bet last night on St. Mary's, and St. Mary's just annihilated BYU, beat them by 31 points, okay? Now, we know what BYU did. The only blemish on Gonzaga's season was BYU's home upset of the Bulldogs in their regular season home finale, a week and a half ago. But that doesn't mean St. Mary's is going to take care of business against Gonzaga tonight. Now, you got a neutral court situation. This is being played at the Orleans Arena in Vegas. And I look at this game, and I look at this line, and I think the line is a little off. And I'll tell you why. Gonzaga is a 5-point favorite. Because Gonzaga lost its home finale to BYU, the only loss of its season, because Gonzaga really struggled in the first half against Pacific, won the game by 32 points, made Chris Jordan look like a brilliant guy, 1,000-star best bet winner on Pacific that you got for half price a couple of days ago. But because Gonzaga also struggled last night against Santa Clara before finally putting away the Broncos, it was a 5-point game with under 2 minutes to play. I think we have a line that is out of whack because of the perception that Gonzaga is struggling right now. And the thing that we remember most about St. Mary's right now is that the Gals just bludgeoned BYU by 31 points last night, and BYU previously, a week and a half ago, upset Gonzaga. To me, I think this line should be 7.5 tonight for Gonzaga. Forget about the news report. Forget about the fact that St. Mary's is in double revenge. You know, I pulled the box scores for both of these games during the regular season, and Gonzaga absolutely dominated St. Mary's in both contests. January 14th, Gonzaga won that game at home 79-56. St. Mary's came in with like a 7 or 8 game winning streak at the time. They had one loss on the season earlier in the year in non-conference play to Texas Arlington. They were hammered in that game. The rematch then, you figure St. Mary's, another winning streak. They're looking for revenge. They're playing at home. Everything would be in their favor. And they lost that game 81-68. Again, I just think that Gonzaga is the better team. I think they're the deeper team. They played by far the better schedule. Listen, St. Mary's loses this game tonight, they are going to be a bubble watcher because even though they're only going to have 3 losses this season, their RPI is just like Illinois State. Didn't beat anybody other than Wichita State this year. St. Mary's will be a bubble-watching team if they lose this game tonight. Gonzaga played a much tougher schedule this year. And I think Gonzaga, a team that's playing for the 20th straight year in the West Coast Conference Final, a team that is seeking its 6th consecutive West Coast Conference title and another big dance ticket, I think they punch it tonight, and I think they punch it rather easily because I think Gonzaga wins this game around 8 to 9 points. Again, I thought they should be favored by 7.5, 7 points in this contest. They are a much more physical team. They are a much better rebounding team, and I think that's going to be the key to success here in this contest. Once again, Gonzaga is to play, and unlike when they sleepwalk, what is the proper verb? I can't think of the way they put that phrase. Unlike the game against Pacific, where they were basically sleeping through the first half. There's always a way around this, right? They will be laser focused here tonight. And I think they're going to deliver the win on the cover. So Gonzaga is the free pick. That'll do it. Back early tomorrow, along with early on Thursday, along with early on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And I'll try to have a video report every day for you because, as you know, bulk of the games starting at noon Eastern time. Same thing next week during the dance. I always say this time of year, during the conference tournaments and during the dance, these Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, it's like having the Super Bowl back-to-back days, 4 times a week, 2 straight weeks. It's a real grind. And if you haven't followed college basketball religiously since November, this is the time as a gambler, you can absolutely get crucified because you just go bet on name recognition. So hopefully we can get you some winners. And as I said, talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.